Hi YouTube, it's me, Dani, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dani. I'm ex-cabin crew for Emirates and Qatar Airways, and I've relocated back to Melbourne, Australia. And today I've come on here because I want to talk about my new job. I did mention in a previous vlog, I think it was the one about why I decided to leave Emirates. And I did mention that I could be possibly joining my third airline, which I can't believe, because I swear when I was doing the training with Emirates, I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna do training for an airline. And you have to be careful what you say, because now I am about to embark on the training for my third airline. So I didn't really talk about it before because I just wanted to make sure everything was confirmed. I have been employed with Qantas in Melbourne, Australia, so I'm going to be based in Melbourne. I'm going to be working for their regional airlines, so I'll be based in Melbourne and I'll be doing a lot of shorter flights, and I will be just flying around Australia, specifically the southeast of Australia. So I'll be spending a lot more time at home, a lot more time with my family. I'm really looking forward to continuing to work in aviation, but this is going to be a lot different, I feel. Just working on smaller planes, working with less people, shorter distances to travel, and just being close to my family and friends, like, because I'll be based in Melbourne, I won't be based overseas, so it's going to be a completely different vibe to what I was doing previously. I wanted to first talk about how I got the job, because it's kind of a crazy story. This is my third airline, so how I got the job with Qatar, and then how I got the job with Emirates, and now how I got the job with Qantas. It's just kind of crazy. Like, I'm gonna explain the story, but it's just, I feel that I'm really working in alignment with the universe, because the way that everything has unfolded for me, especially in terms of my aviation career, it's been very effortless. It's been very easy for me to obtain a job. It's come almost perfectly. The timing of this job just came at the most perfect time. So I'm going to explain how I got the job with Qantas. So it was actually a year ago, May 2021, I applied for the job. And it seems crazy because I wasn't even looking at leaving Emirates at the time, but I remember this was like during the pandemic, and things last year, at this time last year, they hadn't picked up yet. So I wasn't flying much, and I had been I think it had been over a year and flights still hadn't returned back to normal. And May in particular, May 2021 was very, very hard for me, because I did one flight in the whole of May, and it was a turnaround. I literally operated that short turnaround for 30 days, the entire month of May. And I was feeling so down because I saw my colleagues were getting more flights than me, and I just kept getting removed from all the flights. They were getting cancelled, or the load wasn't full, so I would be removed from the flight because I was the most junior flight attendant at the time. And I was getting really angry at this stage. I felt really just tired of always being removed from flights. I wasn't working a lot, and I remember one day I just had enough, and I was like, that's it, I'm gonna go on the Australian job search, and I'm just gonna see what's available in Australia. And at this point, I hadn't even traveled back to Australia in like a year and a half at this stage. Like, Australia was still closed at this time. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna check what jobs are available. So I went on seek.com.au, and I'm not endorsing Seek, by the way. This is just my story. So they have like a search box, and I literally put in everything that I'm qualified for, not even just flight attending. I put in my marketing skills, event management, anything that I can do, I put in the search criteria just to see what kind of jobs were available in Melbourne in May 2021. And I swear to God, the first job that came up when I pressed search was this job for Qantas. And it came up in like this big box, and it was like, Qantas, they're looking for full-time employees, it's based in Melbourne. And I was like, what? Like, the Australian airlines weren't operating at this time. Like, no one was traveling. Australia went under this major lockdown. So for basically the whole of 2021, Australia was closed. Like, people were not even traveling interstate. I was like, why the hell is Qantas hiring now? Like, I can't even get into Australia. But I was like, I'm going to apply. So I did. I applied, and I did it really quickly. I didn't really like spend too much time on it. Like, I basically just, you know, edited my Emirates resume that I used when I applied for Emirates. I quickly just rejiggled it and sent that to Qantas, and that was that. And that was the only job I applied for that day. And to be honest with you, June came and I started flying more. The flights just miraculously started picking up from June 2021. So May was a bit of me just throwing a tantrum, and then things slowly started to pick up in June. So I completely forgot about this job with Qantas. And there was one night, it was probably like a month later, and I couldn't sleep. I was like tossing and turning in bed, and it was about 1 a.m. in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. And for some reason, I thought about that Qantas job, and I was like, I wonder if they ever contacted me back, because I don't regularly check my personal email. I probably should, but anyway, that's a subject for another time. It was 1 a.m. in the morning, and this is just so crazy. Who checks their email at 1 a.m. in the morning? But that is what I did. I was like, I'm gonna check my email and see if they contacted me back. And would you believe that Qantas did contact me back, and they invited me to the second round, which was an online interview. And guess when the deadline was to submit the interview? It was the next day. Next morning, I woke up, I did the online interview. It was like a virtual one, so you could do it anytime. Then after this, I started checking my email more regularly, because I'm like, probably should start checking my email if that's how Qantas is going to contact me. And even at this time, I wasn't entirely sure like if I even wanted to go to Qantas. Like, I hadn't really thought about moving back to Melbourne, Australia, you know, and flights were picking up with Emirates, so I was quite happy. And I heard from Qantas like not long after that, and they sent me an email, and they said they are not hiring anymore, but they want to keep my application on hold for the next 12 months. So I was like, well, that suits me, because I wasn't really at this point in time looking to move back to Australia. So I continued on with the year, didn't really think much about Qantas. December 2021, I operated the flight back to Melbourne. They opened the border, so I was like, yes, I can finally see my family. And then they closed it again, like just before my flight. I had to quarantine in the hotel when I landed into Melbourne. Oh my gosh, it was just really emotional for me. And the next day, when I woke up in my hotel room, it was like this wave of clarity washed over me, and I realized I want to move back to Melbourne. I knew I had to go back. It was time. 2022, I'm moving back to Melbourne, Australia. So I had leave in February 2022. So in February 2022, I went back to Melbourne. I spent time with my family, my friends. It was amazing. And then after my 2 weeks of leave, I was like, that's it. I'm resigning from Emirates. I'm moving back to Melbourne. I miss my family so much. I miss Australia. I want to come home. I came back to Dubai and I quit. And I didn't even have a job. I didn't have a plan. I was just like, whatever, I'm going to figure it out. And that was very unlike me, because normally I'm the type of person, I won't quit a job until I have another job, you know. I like that safety, that security. But I just felt really called to just quit my job, and my intuition was telling me, just quit, you'll figure it out, it'll be fine. So I trusted my intuition, quit my job, and I was still in Dubai at this time. With Emirates, you have to give a 1 month notice. So I handed in my notice and I still had like 1 month in Dubai to finish up my flights for the month. And would you believe, after one week after I resigned, this is so crazy, but Qantas contacted me again, just randomly, and invited me to another assessment day. And I was like, wow, like this is kind of good timing, but it's kind of bad timing because I'm still in Dubai. And the assessment was for the next week and I had to physically go. I said to Qantas, I will attend the assessment. I put in my leave request to Emirates and I started planning to fly back to Melbourne for only 2 days. Just to go to this assessment with Qantas. So I flew back, I went to the assessment day, and honestly, just the way everything kind of unfolded so perfectly for me, I went into the assessment quite cocky, I will say that. I just had this feeling that I was going to get this job. I don't know, there was something that was just telling me that it's yours. I really do believe in the power of the universe and divine timing. And I just felt that this job, it wasn't even just me who was like guiding me to it. It was the universe as well, like supporting me to make this transition back to Melbourne. And the interview at Qantas went so well. Like, I don't think that assessment day, the interview could have gone any better. It went so well. I knew I got the job before they even confirmed it to me. Not long after that, I heard back from Qantas and they said, yes, you're successful, but the recruitment process is quite long. So it was like 1 to 3 months. But that worked out perfectly for me because I actually wanted to take a break after Emirates. I wanted to take at least 1 to 2 months off working because I just felt so tired after doing so many flights with Emirates and working all of that shift work and international travel. I really wanted to give my body a break before I started a new job. So it just worked out so perfectly. I got my break. I got the security of getting a job as soon as I quit from Emirates, and it just happened so easy for me. I'm so excited for myself. And now I'm finally starting with Qantas. I have to do the training again. It's 4 weeks and it's in Sydney. So I'm based in Melbourne. So they've booked me a flight to Sydney on Sunday. So I'll be going in a couple of days, and they're putting me up in Sydney. So I'll have an apartment across the road from the training, and I'm going to be doing 4 weeks of training. And then I should be qualified to be a flight attendant for Qantas, and then I will return back to Melbourne and I'll start operating the flights from Melbourne, and I'll be living at home. So I'm really excited for this new chapter in my life. I'm excited to start earning money again because I haven't worked in almost 2 months. I've loved it. One thing I realized, Australia is super expensive, so I do need some sort of income coming in. So it'll be nice to earn money again. And I'm excited to make new friends as well because, you know, like I've just moved back to Melbourne and I'm kind of finding my feet still. So I'm hoping like I meet some new people. A nice way for me to kind of build a new life for myself in Melbourne. You know, even though it's my home, it's still, I've come back after so many years and it's been a bit of an adjustment, but I'm excited for all these new things coming up for me. So that's what I'm doing, and I'll try and share as much as I can about the training and about Qantas and how it differs from the Middle Eastern airlines, because this is my first Australian airline to work for, so it's like really exciting. So I'm assuming it's going to be completely different to working for Qatar and Emirates. But I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to film throughout the training because in my experience, the training from my previous airlines, it was very intense. So I'm not sure if it's going to be the same sort of intensity with Qantas. I'll either let you know throughout the training or I'll let you know once I finish the training. I'll come back on YouTube and explain what I've been up to, but I'll try and show as much as I can if possible. That's all I wanted to share with you today, and I'm excited to share my new journey with Qantas, and hopefully I'll get to be traveling around Australia, to different parts of Australia. And like I've mentioned before, I really want to showcase my beautiful country because I've done so many travel vlogs from around the world, but I don't have any vlogs on Australia, so I would love to make more videos of my beautiful country. So stay tuned. So I've arrived at my apartment. I'm excited. Oh, so we have my bedroom, living area, there's a TV, there's a hallway. Oh, and have a kitchen. I've arrived at my apartment. I'm here for the next month while I do the training, and it's really convenient because the apartment is across the road from the Qantas headquarters. So I'm going to be able to wake up, get ready, and just walk across the road to go to school. It's going to be interesting to do training again for the third time. I don't feel so excited to go through the training once again, but I'm hoping that it's a little bit easier because it is my third time. And while it is a new airline and it's going to have different protocols and it's going to be different aircrafts that I'm getting trained on, I hope that it's not too much new information. Like some of the knowledge I have had previously with my previous 2 airlines will come in handy with the training now, so it's not going to be too overwhelming for me. So we will see how it goes. I'll try and keep you guys updated, but so far I'm really happy that my apartment, it has a kitchen, bathtub, so I can have baths. It's got lots of space so I can do workouts. So I'm happy. The main thing I wanted was a kitchen because I'm going to be here for a month and I like cooking. I didn't want to have to buy food for the whole month. I really enjoy cooking and eating home cooked meals, so I'm really happy about that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love making content, so if you like what you see, then make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any content I put out in the future. And until my next video, make sure you take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.